Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at 11 starts now.
Welcome to your Monday night. I'm meteorologist Andrew Humphrey. One round of thunderstorms that were severe this afternoon. Another set of thunderstorms setting up to our west. What does it mean for tonight, tomorrow, and later this week? Your full forecast coming up.
A plan to bring a new Meijer to a Macomb County community is moving forward, but not without a lot of pushback from homeowners.
With the fall semester just weeks away, school districts facing opposition from parents on whether to issue a mask mandate for students. In the Grosse Pointe School District, the decision has been made to start the year with masks optional, but that could change depending on where the COVID numbers go.
And not surprisingly, you have parents who want a mask mandate and others who support the current plans. Our Mara McDonald is live in Grosse Pointe Farms. Mara, some of the mask mandate advocates, I understand, showed up to protest before tonight's school board meeting.
Karen, they did. They had a protest out here. And, you know, this meeting is going on as we speak. It has been emotional at times, tense at times. The reality is you have two groups of parents in here with very divergent ideas on whether masks should be required. Let me show you. Masked and with props like this Grim Reaper, several mask mandate advocates protested outside the school board meeting tonight.
I thought it was really important because I think it's important to protect our kids and to follow the expert guidelines put forward by the CDC and the American Academy of Pediatrics that say that we should have universal masking for all our students regardless of vaccination status or not, and also because all of my kids are under 12.
But other parents who support the current mask plan attended tonight as well. So you had a mix of parents and wants.
Optional, yes. If you want to keep your kid in a mask, go ahead. And your kid's comfortable in it, fine. Mine are not going to.
Each group sat through the board's return to school plan, and when the superintendent announced mask optional, in a letter from the superintendent, which went out on Friday, Dr. John Dean laid out the decision to remain mask optional, at least for now, which includes an 80% vaccination rate in the community and current low COVID case numbers within the Grosse Pointe Public School District. He also made it clear the mask optional policy will be adjusted if needed. The state of Michigan is leaving these decisions up to individual school districts, but the governor supports masks for K through 12.
We as parents know what's best for our kids, and what you did was optional. If a parent wants to mask their child, have at it. If they don't, they shouldn't be required to.
You put convenience, emotions, and fake news above safety, science, and guidance from our nation's top experts who have dedicated their careers to public health and safety.
Back here live, the superintendent made it clear he has one goal this entire year, and that's keeping these kids in school face to face, and the district will do what it needs to do to make that a reality. We're in Grosse Pointe Farms tonight. I'm Mara McDonald. Karen, Jace, back to you.
A lot of parents in all different school districts having this conversation. All right, thank you, Mara.
Let's get to tonight's coronavirus headlines. The University of Michigan is bringing back its indoor mask policy. Masks will be required indoors starting Wednesday. Meantime, the U.S. is requiring military members to be vaccinated by September 15th. Michigan reports 2,720 new cases over the past 3 days, which averages out to 906 cases per day. The state also reports 8 more deaths. In Florida, Governor Ron DeSantis, who signed an order banning school mask mandates there, says the state could withhold salaries of superintendents and school board members who impose those mandates.
Well, it was a muggy night with severe weather threat moving in.
Yeah, a little perspiration to start the day and then a lot of condensation. Am I right there, Andrew?
Exactly right. Some of that happening earlier in some places than others. First, we're seeing a break from the shower and storm activity. We had some severe storms early this afternoon, as you remember, but right now we just have mostly cloudy skies. That said, showers and thunderstorms lining up to our west from southern Lake Michigan now into southwest Michigan, including areas just south and west of Grand Rapids. All this part of a line that is just steadily moving in our direction, making its appearance here early in the morning on Tuesday, in some places as early as 2 a.m. It's 73 right now, and talk about air you can wear. Yes, that's what we have right now. It is muggy with dew points that are easily around 70 degrees, give or take a degree or two. So the stage is set for more volatile weather as we go into the overnight hours. Latest computer model has some of those showers and storms arriving between 2 and 3 in our west zone, including in Livingston County, also in Washtenaw County just west of Ann Arbor, then traveling through the rest of southeast Michigan. These pockets of red and orange you see here, the possibility of heavy downpours, gusty winds, even the possibility of some thunder and lightning once again. We'll go over this in terms of the timeline, and we'll go over your Tuesday afternoon and 7-day forecast coming up.
All right, thank you, Andrew. There are still about 22,000 DTE customers without power across Metro Detroit from those storms that hit this afternoon. This is some video from Mount Clemens where dozens of large trees were brought down by those strong winds. Fortunately, no one was hurt.
Plans are moving forward to build a new Meijer in Macomb Township, but not everybody is happy about that. The proposal would build the grocery store at the corner of 24 Mile Road and Hayes, and it would include 400 parking spaces. Victor Williams is there live. And Victor, there's been a pretty big push by some homeowners there to stop this project. Yeah. Good evening.
That's right. Good evening. And pushback is pretty much an understatement. This is exactly where that Meijer is supposed to be built. Notice, however, the homes not too far from where I'm standing right now. That's where the frustration comes into play, as this is pretty much being built by a residential community.
We don't need it, we don't want it, and it's going to bring our property values down.
Macomb Township residents like Ginger Zarelli aren't too happy with the potential development of a new grocery store basically being built in their backyards.
The property's not that big, for one thing, and to have big trucks and hear the noises constantly and the lights, Meijer does not care about the people.
We've gone to 2-3 meetings already with the township. The biggest thing, it seems to us, is that we just don't seem to have a voice in the whole process.
Although some of these homeowners believe some out-of-pocket or underhanded activity is going on, Township Supervisor Frank Viviano says everything has been done 100% by the book.
The site plan was approved, so they did everything that they should do and could do.
So far, a petition has been started against the development that has collected nearly 4,000 signatures. The plan for the new Meijer is to also have 8 gas pumps on hand, something that has Jim Becker worried about the daycare nearby.
There's a lot of, concerned parents that they're thinking they're not going to keep their kids there anymore.
I feel bad for the residents. It's certainly something they didn't expect, but the property owner, has the right to do with it within our ordinances that he wants to, and unfortunately this is something that's allowed.
And another concern that these residents are having is the impact that Meijer is going to have on traffic. A lot of them are telling me that it's hard enough as it is right now to get around, but with this Meijer here, that's really going to congest things. Interestingly enough, I'm told by some of them that as soon as this Meijer goes up, they'll be making plans to move on out. In Macomb Township, Victor Williams, Local 4.
Yeah, all right, we'll see what happens. All right, Victor, thanks.
5 men charged in the plot to kidnap Governor Gretchen Whitmer are now being accused of a plot involving another high-profile politician. The Detroit News reporting the group was targeting Ohio Republican Governor Mike DeWine. The new allegations were unveiled in a 22-page filing, with prosecutors saying the group met near Columbus, Ohio, back in June of 2020 and discussed attacking Governor Whitmer, Governor DeWine, and Virginia Governor Ralph Northam. Barry Croft is among those who discussed targeting Governor DeWine, and that's according to the report. Croft is facing federal charges along with 5 others for allegedly planning the abduction of Governor Whitmer at her vacation home because they were angry over the state's coronavirus restrictions.
The Canadian border has reopened to Americans. To be let into Canada, you'll need to be fully vaccinated, have a negative COVID test within 3 days before crossing, and upload it to the Arrive Can app. The border has been closed since March 2020.
Very frustrating because we're only 10 minutes, so I feel like this should have happened a long time ago. I have a niece and nephew there. I haven't been able to see them, so I'm already emotional.
They're taking precautions, which is very understandable, and I think I'm all for it,
You're not going to need proof of vaccination or a negative COVID test to get back into the U.S. Meantime, the U.S. border remains closed to Canadians coming in until August 21st.
University of Michigan lecturers marched to announce they're quitting their contract with the university. Members of the lecturers union gathered in Ann Arbor to demonstrate. They say their contract ended in May and that the school hasn't addressed their concerns about equal pay for lecturers at U of M Dearborn and Flint.
We've been bargaining for 8 months to try to get pay parity across the 3 campuses and to lift the Dearborn and Flint lecturers out of basically poverty wages into a more respectable salary.
Lecturers aren't on strike, but could vote to strike in 30 days. Still ahead, he is the front runner to replace the legendary Alex Trebek, and we're not talking about you, Jason.
Not me, as far as I know.
No, we're not.
The person we are talking about is responding, though, to the backlash of possibly being named the next Jeopardy host. We'll get into that.
An out-of-control driver slams into a Michigan business, but the driver was caught on camera doing several hours later.
But first, high school athletes back at practice, and this time with no masks required. The other big difference is athletes will notice compared to last year. Next.